On today's show, the 2024 election is now less than a year away, and right now it does not look good for President Biden. A story that corporate media won't cover at all, and one more reason to love Ticketmaster. Today on Notice News. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Springer here at Notice HQ, and you know the drill. If you want to stay up to date and not rely on corporate media elites, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that bell, to get Notice News here on YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday. Right now, we are less than a year away from the 2024 presidential election, and let's just say things look mixed for President Biden's re-election chances. Earlier this week, a new poll from the New York Times says that Biden, who ran as the electability candidate last time around, is trailing Trump in 5 of 6 battleground states: Nevada, Georgia, Arizona, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, though Biden still has a slight lead in Wisconsin. That means if the election were held right now, Trump would be poised to win over 300 electoral votes, far above the 270 votes needed to win. But why the shift? The Times says a full 2/3 of Americans now see the country moving in the wrong direction, and they're blaming Biden. That's leading to a fraying of the multiracial and multi-generational coalition Biden put together in 2020. His lead among Hispanic voters has been cut in half, and he only leads Trump among young voters by 1 point. Jesus Christ, we're f***ed. Needless to say, this could all be very bad news for the president, not to mention our democracy, except on Tuesday, this happened.
Overnight, Democrats celebrating a series of key victories, with abortion rights again proving to be a potent political issue heading into 2024.
Abortion access is the law of the land in Ohio.
Voters in Ohio voted overwhelmingly to enshrine access to safe abortion healthcare into their state's constitution, the 7th state to do so since the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And in deep red Kentucky, Democrat Andy Bashar was reelected to a second term after making safe abortion access a key point of his campaign. And in Virginia, Democrats took control of the entire state legislature in a rebuke to Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin's plan to ban most safe abortions. This all adds up though. Republicans are clearly on the wrong side of history on this one. Polls have consistently shown that Americans support access to safe abortion healthcare, including 56% of Republicans. So the big question is, despite President Biden's deep unpopularity, will issues like safe abortion access, Donald Trump's own unlikability numbers, and potential criminal convictions be enough to carry Biden across the finish line again? I want to know what you think. Who do you think will win next year? Place your bets now down below in the comments. Here's a story corporate media isn't covering at all, probably for good reason. On the other side of the world right now in Bangladesh, workers at garment factories that supply stores like H&M, Zara, and The Gap are striking because they, like most workers around the world, want a raise. The difference? Just how much, or rather how little, these workers get paid and how much they want to be paid. Right now, Bangladesh's 4 million garment factory workers get paid just $75 a month, or about $2.50 per day. And what do they want? A tripling of that pay to a meager $208 a month. If they can get it, and that's a big if, it would be their first pay raise in 5 years. To me, this raise seems only fair given that these factories make a reported $46 billion a year. Rahama Begum, a factory worker, told this to Reuters.
Do you see the price of potato and onion in the market? The new hike will not compensate for that. It should be raised further. We have to pay rent, food, and children's education. The market economy is on fire. How can we go on like this?
The factories that Rahama and others work at supply some of the world's largest fashion brands with cheap clothes. Only those cheap clothes at H&M, Zara, and The Gap come at a high cost for someone, and spoiler alert, it's not the people at the top. It's the people at the bottom doing all the work, like Rahama. Meanwhile, executives like this guy, Bobby Martin, The Gap's interim CEO, with whom you can apparently connect with on LinkedIn, received a total compensation package last year worth $8.5 million. Obviously, there's a good reason corporate media is burying this story. They don't want you to know that the same brutal system that's keeping us down, America's unfettered capitalism, has literally enslaved even poorer people on the other side of the world. If we identified with them, what then might we do about this immoral system that's also enslaved us? Divide and conquer. It's the American way. Now let's get a timer on the clock for 60-second headlines. A new report says extreme heat now causes more US deaths than any other weather-related event, and most of the 32 million people who work outdoors are not protected by any workplace safety heat regulations. Meanwhile, the UN says countries that previously vowed to halt warming, like ours, are actually expanding fossil fuels. The world is on track to produce twice the amount of fossil fuels than a critical global warming threshold allows. Ticketmaster's parent company, Live Nation, is on track for record profits in 2023, making $8.2 billion in Q3 alone, fueled by Taylor Swift and Beyonce's record-breaking tours. The US government just expanded their investigation into the ticket giant, saying their contracts may restrict competition. And the US government is challenging over 100 medical device patents for widely used items like asthma inhalers and EpiPens. Critics say Big Pharma has gamed the patent process to inflate prices of these devices for decades. It could drive their costs down significantly. Thanks, Biden. That's it for today. If you want to find out more about something we covered, links to sources and references are down below in the description. Make sure to like and subscribe to get noticed news here on YouTube, and go follow us on Snapchat and TikTok. I'll see you back here on Tuesday.